For those struggling with the concept of this wedding cake being £900, in fact it was slightly more than £900, I have done a cost breakdown for you to outline why exactly it was £900, because it's not a figure I've just plucked out of mid-air. So here we go. First of all, let's talk about the time it took to create this cake. And the first thing you're going to hate me for is the fact that I charge £30 an hour. So here's the hourly breakdown of the process. 1 hour of shopping for ingredients to make the cake, 3.5 hours making the batter, prepping the tins, baking the cakes, making the filling, making the ganache, washing up and wrapping the cakes, 2.5 hours to prep the board, fill and layer each of the 3 tiers of the cake and cover it in a crumb coat of white chocolate ganache, 1.25 hours top coating the 3 tiers in white and white chocolate ganache, doweling the cake in order to make sure it doesn't fall over, and attaching the baseboard, 1 hour of picking, prepping and pressing the pressed flowers, 1.5 hours arranging and applying all the fresh flowers to this cake, 1.5 hours hand painting the 3 cats onto the cake, and this makes it a total of 12.25 hours to create this cake from start to finish. Now let's talk about delivery. This cake got delivered an hour and 15 away from me. We had 30 minutes to pack the car, an hour and 15 driving, 1 hour to unload and set up the wedding cake at the venue, 1 hour 15 back. That's 4 hours for delivery and setup. Then there's the other requirements in order to create this wedding cake. For the wedding cake is simply a glimmer in my eye. We have the emails, the invoices, the questionnaires, the sketches, the consultation time, the tasters, the quote, the contacting of the wedding suppliers for the day, ordering supplies that aren't the ingredients, collecting, collating mood boards and photos. This equates to around 5 hours in total per wedding cake. So the total time spent on this cake and this couple was 21.25 hours, which at my £30 an hour is £645. And you may also say that is a lot for 3 days work, but I'm self-employed, therefore I don't get sick pay, I don't get holiday pay, I don't get a pension, and I will be taxed on that amount of money, along with any other profits in my business. Now let's talk ingredients. Ingredients to physically make this cake, including the boards and dowels, came to £120.27. Fuel to drive the 74 miles in order to deliver this cake and come home at the standard rate of 45p a mile is £33.30. So let's add this ingredients, equipment and fuel cost to our hours cost, and that comes to £798.75. Then adding a 20% margin on top, some of which will be profit, which will absorb things like tax, overheads, electricity, water, all the things required in order to run a cake business. That will take the total to £958.50. As you can see, it's not just plucked out the air, there is reasoning behind it. The irony will be that most people who have listened all the way through this will be the ones commenting saying you don't need to justify your prices. And the considerable amount of people who complained about that price for a wedding cake in the last reel wouldn't even bother listening to all this because it will prove their point wrong. Or they will listen to it all the way through and still nitpick about some price that I have mentioned here in my breakdown. But, you know, this is a £900 cake. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. I am not forcing your hand.